Friends, I want to do a quick video about the Z tank, also with the iPad Go 2 video, because this kind of popped out of nowhere, and I'm trying to figure it out if it was a Mandela effect, because I never heard of Z tanks out of Russia. I'm not a big military guy though, right? But I would have heard about Z tanks. But now they're calling Z tanks, and we still cannot pinpoint why they're calling Z tanks, right? And because we knew that this invasion was going to happen. You remember, I did, so did other some brothers and sisters around the world. We predicted exactly that the Russia was going to attack Ukraine on Washington's birthday, and which is also President's Day. All these things, right? We got that communication and all that stuff. So the whole predictive programming, right? Well, we need to go back to that. But now there's the thing about the Z tanks. I'll explain why it's important going forward, because in the iPad Go 2 video, we had the tanks coming down there. And actually, I'm going to show you how it's tied to these Z tanks with the gal waving the white flag. And also has the yin and yang symbol right in front of her, right? So anyway, so I'm going to bring up, let's see here, if I can bring up YouTube, I'm going to show you. So this guy, move that down a little bit here. I'm going to show you real quick. Okay, I'm going to back that up just for a second because I want to show you. Sorry about that. Not the best job because I'm using my phone. Oh yeah, that first scene. Okay. I know of a previous, just a recap from. I don't want to do the whole thing. My previous video you can watch. You know how we got the hammer and sickle here. We got. Okay, just briefly, we got his hammer and sickle. You got the gentleman drowning in oil sludge or nuclear waste, right? And also on his tattoo, I can't zoom in right now. It says Juanita, which is tied to Washington. So we know it's Washington's birthday and all those things like that. President's Day when they're going to attack, all that stuff, right? So we got that. Okay. But here's now when you look at these tanks, I want you to see that actually there's Z's on the teeth. Okay. So oh, sorry about that. Oh my goodness, come on. Sorry folks, let's do this. All right. See how they form a Z? I'm doing a terrible job on this, and I apologize. It's just really hard, and I don't have time to really do anything official. I think getting this out in any form is better as long as it's quick and, you know what I mean? Then, okay, so if you look at those make little Z's, okay? Those little teeth, right? There's Z's up and down, okay? Now, so we have all those tanks rolling in, right? See the Z's? Now, so we have her, and we know that, okay? Let's go ahead and move forward real quick. You're the tiger, Chinese New Year, blah, blah, blah. Stock market, yeah, blah, 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 this, that, and things like this. Okay, this guy shows the tanks rolling in, blah, 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 all these other things like this. I just pulled this up because he has this. Now, I'm going to bring up what was interesting because I was trying to find out more information about the Z tanks in Russia. And anyway, so where is it? There, is it there? Okay, what's interesting about this, I had it up there and I don't know what happened to it. I had one that I could just click on it. Yeah, if you go here, if you can figure out what the Z means, because what is that symbol of, right? The warnings, what does the Z mean on the Russian tanks being behind single explain? Well, I read this whole article, right? And it explains nothing. It's like a bunch of garbage. They asked people, what does it mean? We can figure out. So on many Russian tanks, there is a white symbol which looks like the letter Z, sometimes with a white box around it, right? You see right here on the tank right there even? Right here. I mean, look at this. I mean, Z, you know what I mean? So this is actually tied to even the iPad Go 2, the Z. It said, according to the Russian Ministry of Defense, the Z symbol means for the victory. Really? Z for the victory? Well, what's weird about that is I spoke to some Russians here local in San Diego, and I asked them, if they understood what the Z tanks is, and they grew up in Russia. They knew everything about Russia. They said they never heard this. They said they never heard about Z tanks. And I said, well, what? They said the Z is not even a letter in Russian. I said, what? Or even there's several dialects, by the way. I said, check. No. They said, several Russian. Nope. They said, there is no Z. And I said, what? So you're actually just pulling a alphabetical letter out of nowhere and putting it into this thing. Okay. So now I know this, you're like, well, what's this video about? Well, this video that we're doing here talks about how, one, we have a Mandela effect of Z, and what does the Z mean? Because it's very important. There's Z's everywhere, because even one of the Olympic players, remember, he's actually been banned from the Olympics now from the summer because he had a Z on his outfit. Z. Are you kidding me? So just because of that, and he said some other, because he had that symbol on there, he said that he was trying to help represent his country in support of Russia attacking Ukraine. Okay, so it is very important, because if it's important to them enough to push this, even like the satanic symbols and stuff, the Illuminati pushing the I and all these other symbols, there's something important around the Z that we need to pay attention to. So I'm hoping somebody can put a comment in there if you have better knowledge of what this is, because I have been asking people and nobody knows. If it just means victory, come on. Got to dig deeper than that. It's because, yes, it could just be a symbol of them saying for victory, but we know there's more to the story. There always is. And it's amazing how this is slipping through, that even news medias don't really talk about it, right? I mean, really? So, let's see. Is there anything else I want to add about this? Now, so in that video, which is strange, though, because we have the tanks coming down in front of the yin and yang. And another diagnosis, remember we talked about it, it's more of the Asian area, like Taiwan, is chanting an attack Taiwan, things like that, and all these other things, right? So, what does that mean? Because you see the tanks, and then we see her waving the white flag, right? She's like trying to bring in peace behind the yin and yang, the balance, and all that other things, right? I don't want to go through that again. So the thing is, so we're asking ourselves, what's the next step? Does that mean that China is going to attack Taiwan? What have a chance here? More of a distraction, what does that truly mean? Okay. So that's why it's important. And also we know that there's also the showing that the stock market pieces kind of played out a little bit, where it shows the stock market crashing and stuff like that on the scene. Because you got to remember, this could be forward or backward in time, that video. It does not have to be in sequence, right? Because, it could be, things coming forward and some of it in the past. So it's kind of like different screens versus a chronological order, right? So anyway. That's about it. Remember, we have no fear. We thank our Creator, for revealing His truths and help guide us through some better truths, please. And, here's the thing is, I hate to make a personal request, but please pray for me, because I am financially strapped like all of us. I am in a nightmare, and I'm getting really nervous about it, okay? I have enough money to survive. I'll be fine. But I need but it's getting tough. I'm tired of worrying about money. I don't want to worship money. And I'm really nervous because I've been day trading, as you know, and I've sold, some money for oil and stuff like that. But the thing is, I was so tired last week, I made some damn mistakes. And so, like this, it's gambling, right? And, and I'm really good at this because I've played this for years. But, I'm just worn out, like all of us, right? And we all need money. We're all, none of us are sitting here with pockets bulging out and we're full of the things. So please pray for me. Just tell me to give me some guidance, something to help me, or, because I am tired of worrying about money. And it's frustrating. And I know you do too. Because I should be worrying about how to help people. I should be worrying about, how can I help you, brothers and sisters, versus worrying about money, right? It just ticks me off, right? I need their help, man. I'm telling you, I need their help on this side because I can't do this on my own, right? So I'm doing the best I can, like I said. And then I had a brother say, thank you for your comment about saying, hey, your day trading works, but, you need to have something a little bit more in the pocket. You're right. I need God more in my pocket, guys. Like in the song 1999, it says, you got a lion in your pocket. Well, the Lord or whatever, please ask them to help out because this is not funny. And, because I got worried about gas. It's so expensive here in California. I know you are too. You're worried about trying to survive. We need to, we need to be on the basic necessities of life if we're going to serve the spiritual world, right? Because we can't, sometimes it's part of that waking up process of being broken and taken down and stripped of everything you got. But it's time that all of us move forward. You can watch these videos of a time for us to move forward. We don't want to be rich and filthy and stinky like that, right? We just want enough money to get by so that we can actually be mobile, have free will to spread the spiritual and do our mission. I mean, just the basics, please. Are you kidding me? I mean, my vehicle's broken down. It's got 259,000 miles on it. I mean, kidding me? I mean, geez, the gas, and oh, are you kidding me? So, I mean, and I know we'll make it through this, but, like I said, the emotional impacts, I'm sorry to go on about it. I'm sorry, folks. That's my ramble. So I'm going to pray for you as well. Pray that you have the things you need, the money you need to get through, okay? Because I wish I could just hand out thousands to everyone right now just to help you out, because I know we do this, right? But, so we're all in a struggle, right? We're being cranked on. Anyway, that's why we need to decide, right? Answer our prayers, please, decide, because we're here to do this mission. We want to finish this, right? Because even Jesus Christ is Lord. Those guys were not poor, by the way. They had a ton of money. I don't see anyone else walking around with millions of dollars. Not kidding you. For their day and time, they were rich. By the way, they were. Look at it. It's written right there. We're poor, most of us. We're trying to survive this beast system. So give us a little help money, just kind of like you did the Lord, please. It's just something to help us not worry about this. I'm sorry to go on about it, but it's getting bad with inflation. Every one of these people in this world are suffering too from the monetary pressure. And that's not, the pressure should be with pressure of love and peace and calmness versus pressure of more, how am I going to make that gas payment? How am I going to how am I going to feed my kids? That's not funny, right? Okay. All right. Sorry to go on about that, Rambo. I'm going to do some upcoming videos about, I've learned something I think nobody's ever touched. I love this. And not even Mud Fossil University. I wish I could sit down with the guy. I'm going to talk about how everything that material can become spiritual. Kid you not. And it's going to blow your mind. It's going to explain why we see demons that shoot out of fire, like we saw in 9/11 when the towers went down. There was actually demons that came out of flames. And I've seen it myself. I've seen the explosions. I don't know if you saw my video. I think I did one about the nuclear bomb test, where you could see this huge demon come out of there when energy was released, right? And I explained how that's kind of like a portal, a dimension of turning material into spiritual. You know what I mean? And that's why spiritual can also become material. It can. So I think that we can see spiritual things become material, or it's frozen in time, or things like this. It might explain why we see some rocks have been formed, or certain spiritual beings getting locked in a material world, right? So I want to do something about that, because nobody's talked about this that I can see. I've been looking, but nobody's ever talked about this. So it's going to be, it'll blow your mind, right? I'm going to try to bring up some videos and prove it to you, how that is just amazing, where energy being releases a spiritual world like you've never seen. You may time certain. Okay, anyway, so I'm sorry to ramble. Hope you're having a great day. Not hope. You all have, right? And I love you all, and thank you for the support too. So, all of you have been great, and I hope I'm supporting you. And and it's not just about me. So that's what I'm saying. So I appreciate your support. Okay, you guys have been awesome. Let's support one another. And if you need anything too, put a comment in there. If there's any way I can help you, I mean, seriously, it's a prayer, or if you have help me contact, because I'm struggling myself. I mean, I can hardly keep myself going here. But if there's any way I can help you in any way, is everybody in contact you? I do know certain people in different states, politicians or bands or stuff like that, or somebody I might know to help you out. But like me, I've been isolated. I like living in a bubble. And you're like, Kirk, you're begging for help out. There, yeah, I am. So anyway, and I'd like a temporary home, by the way, folks. Don't think about that, because I need to have some kind of stable base to operate from to do this mission. Okay, I'll be okay without it. So, and that's what I'm saying. So if you are hoping that you have a home and things are stable as well, okay, and then, because I have limited resources, but I do have, I got some brothers in Tennessee or some places that might be able to help you as well. Okay, we got to work together, because we're all separated out, apart from each other. Okay, sorry to babble. So let's just help one another the best we can. Doesn't have to be financial, like I said. Let's help out each other by encouragement, so support. Say, hang in there. You're doing fine. Because that in itself has means so much to me when somebody says, Kirk, just pull up your britches, hang in there. You're doing okay, right? Okay. All right. Love you all. Take care, and God bless.